Today my speech is about maternity leave. So, do you think it is okay to start off your growing family in debt? I believe that employers, small or large, should be incentivized to offer paid maternity leave. Today we are going to cover the average cost of childcare, some of the half-hearted plans to incentivize maternity leave, taxes, and alternative options. Simon Workman and Stephen Jessup Howard from AmericanProgress.org state that the average cost to provide center-based child care for an infant in the United States is $1,230 per month. For a toddler, the average cost is $800 per month per child. There's no price cuts or anything else with this on the average place when you're looking for daycare. So, in no state does the cost of center-based infant or toddler care child care meet the federal definition of affordable. The federal definition of affordable is that it should be no more than 7% of the annual household income. In 12 states, the cost of child care for just one infant exceeds 20% of the state's median income. This is a staggering amount of money paid every month, but necessary for families where both the mother and the father have to work to pay the bills. In my growing family, we are lucky because we have the opportunity to have family watch our sons for less of a cost. I find it hard to swallow that if we did not have this luxury, then the average cost of infant daycare is more than my mortgage. But what makes this amount even more daunting is the fact that only 15% of families qualify for paid medical leave, as stated by NPR. So, on top of increasing your monthly bills by a staggering amount, there is a good chance that at least one parent, if not both, are going to be taking unpaid time off. This automatically places a growing family behind the ball when it comes to finances. Our second thought is a glaring issue facing many expecting women is the fact that once their baby is born, they have a hard choice to make. They can either take off up to 12 weeks using FMLA, which will burn all of your PTO, but this time is unpaid by your employer. So that means you can use all of your paid time off. So when you come back to work while still having a young child up to 3 months old, then you're going to have zero PTO. So if your child gets sick, you're going to run the option of having to do a no-call, no-show at work at that point, because to have your time off to have your child, you have to use all of your PTO in the first place, but it's unpaid by the employer. So another option is you can quit your job to stay at home with their children, or you can change jobs to possibly more flexible position. Starting a family off on the right foot is important in my opinion, but the lack of paid maternity leave creates an initial deficit that is hard to overcome. There is a tax credit proposed by Senator Deb Fischer. This states that it is available to companies that offer at least 2 weeks of paid family or medical leave annually to workers. But 2 key criteria must be met. Their workers must earn less than $72,000 a year, and the coverage must cover at least 50% of their wages. This tax credit states that if the company contributes at the half-wage level, it will receive a tax credit equal to 12.5% of the amount it pays to the worker. The tax credit will increase on a sliding scale if the company pays more than 50% of wages. It could go up to a maximum credit of 25% of the amount the employer paid for, up to 12 weeks of leave, as stated by NPR. This tax cut may not be enough incentive for companies to start offering paid maternity leave, in my opinion. But Katharina Eggers from Forbes.com states that her employer offered a flexible work arrangement of working 4 days a week instead of her standard 5. This made coming back to work infinitely easier. Emotionally and practically working 4 days seemed doable, even as a brand new mom. So it wasn't something I had to think too hard about. This is one option for companies to look at, but there are other options. States Heritage.org states that at a price tag of $450 more in taxes each year, which is the minimum cost for a modest program, that everyone in this country would be paying an extra $450 in their taxes. Fewer than half of Americans, at only 48%, supported a national paid leave program. Only 38% supported a federal paid leave policy. If it meant lower pay raises for them, and even fewer, at only 29%, were willing to exchange such a program for fewer benefits for them, or for a reduced likelihood of promotions for women. I do not believe that this is a fair option, considering the fact that some people will not have children and would not be able to use these benefits that they're paying. The other downside to this is that taxes are already high when assessing your W-2 at the end of the year. I believe that incentivization for employers is a better option. Instead of the sliding scale noted earlier in this speech, I believe that companies should be compensated 100% in tax breaks for paid maternity leave up to a maximum of 12 weeks. This would make it easier decision. This would make it an easier decision for companies to offer this necessary benefit, but this would implement a better working environment for women in general. It would innately give more incentive for women to maintain their jobs that they enjoy, and if they are going to stay at a job longer, this would have the added effect of increasing the probability for promotions. In closing, I would like to state that I am avidly against increasing taxes for working people. But since me and my wife went through the same thing just 9 short months ago with my son Barrett, which you can hear in the background of our video, this issue really hits home for me. Hopefully this has opened up your eyes and thoughts on this glaring issue. Thank you.